We all face grief throughout our lives. And you know, so many people, again, in my personal life and in my career, people are crossing their fingers saying, oh, I hope nothing bad happens. Isn't that so unrealistic? Life is unpredictable. I think it would be so wise of us to prepare for anything. And if we're going to work so hard to create a life we love, and a personal life and professional, don't you think it would be wise to prepare so that when grief arrives in our lives, we have at least coping skills and strategies? Say, why should we prepare for grief? Because grief shows no mercy. It arrives unannounced and uninvited. It does not care what else you are going through, and it does not care if you've had enough. It can be relentless. It can destroy relationships, it can destroy success, and it can destroy you. And grief is coming. Takeaway number 1. The best time to talk about, plan, and prepare for grief is when we are young and healthy. Maybe a few people have missed that boat. And when is the next best time? The next best time is now. Takeaway number 2. I love how many times it's so wonderful that if someone is facing grief or a crisis, we have employee assistance programs, or we have counselors and bereavement people, and that's all very wonderful. But the truth is that they are there for a part of our journey, aren't they? You know, they're there to have your therapy session, and I love counselors, but that's a very small part of your journey. We need our family, our friends, our co-workers. We need everybody, our neighbors, to be able to be there for us, to be a part of that journey. And you know, when you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say, if you don't remember anything else I say today, I want you to take in these 3 words. Just show up. Someone's having a hard time, divorce, diagnosis, job loss, Fido died, whatever. They're grieving, their heart is broken. We need to learn how to show up for people. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. Hug, text, email, call if you're at work and you know someone's had a hard time and you don't really know what to do. You go over and put their favorite espresso on the table, you know, pat on the shoulder. People say, well, I don't want to ask them how they're doing because I know they're having a hard time. No, but you can say, how are you doing today? This must be hard. Because it is hard. It has to start with you, though. And you know, self-care has sort of become a buzzword. Oh yes, you know, we should be better self-caregivers and all of that. And people think, yeah, I'll do that. Next week I'll start. But here's the thing about not being a great self-caregiver. I think each of our mission is, or our purpose, to be the very best version of ourselves and bring the very best version of ourselves to the table. If you are not being a great self-caregiver, you are being selfish. Why? Because you will not bring your best self to the table if you are not a great self-caregiver, and eventually you will fall apart mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. How do I know? Ask me how many stories I have in 27 years of nursing. Why don't we celebrate self-care and being the very best version of yourself? Show up for yourself first. Takeaway number 4, that is not selfish. It is so important. So structure your life in such a way that you are self-reliant. And so is your team. And so is your family, all the people around you. It's wonderful to be that person who does everything for everybody. It's even more wonderful to make them self-reliant. Change is the only constant. Life is unpredictable. So many of us feel our value is because we are, you know, something outside of ourselves, or we have certain people in our lives. And if we have a grief attack at 3 in the morning, how wonderful that we have family and friends, but maybe they don't want to talk at 3 in the morning. But we need something that is there for us no matter what. For some people, it's their religion, others spirituality, yoga, art, meditation, nature, yoga in nature, something. We need something that we can turn to no matter what, that we can hang on to, something bigger than ourselves that keeps us feeling connected. So takeaway number 6, find your post. Our legacy is what we create throughout our lives. Every time that, are we kind to someone? Are we helpful? Are we lifting someone up? Are we there for people? It's time to be that person that we want to be now, to create that legacy each and every day.